guys, welcome back to my channel. I was kind of gonna do this video of me just like sitting here and talking to you guys, but I think I might do like a drive with me type of like video. I did my drive with me videos before. Ooh, that lighting. With my music, like my playlist videos. But you know what? I think I kind of don't want to really drive while doing this video because I want to listen to my music. I think I'm gonna do a drive with me. My car's kind of loud, so I didn't really want to do that. I was gonna just sit here, but I think it would be nice just to like have a little thing to talk about while I'm driving. And I'll do this on my way to my boyfriend's house. So I didn't get gas, so probably want to shut you guys off when I get to the gas station because that's kind of awkward. Even though I low-key can make it to my boyfriend's house with the amount of gas I have, but I don't want to risk it. So, oh my god, it's dark. So, as you guys can read by the title, today's video is going to be like, I wanted to do a series, and maybe it will be a drive with me type of series, because I drive a lot. And it's really the only time I usually have to film. It's like when I'm driving somewhere. But I wanted to kind of do like a series where like I kind of like debate controversial topics or like highly debatable topics, like stuff that's like, you know, usually debated against or, you know, debated about. So I just wanted to like do a little series maybe called like Let's Debate. Like I don't really have a huge following on YouTube, so it's kind of hard to really like get this series off because like it would be better if I was doing this series and actually had a following where people could actually interact and, you know, give their opinions and their viewpoints in the comments. But, you know, for now, I think it'll still be fun. It gives me something to talk about, and I have a lot of things, you know, that run through my mind. I have a lot of opinions and, you know, on different various topics, and this is just a good outlet for me to get them out, like this and Twitter. And it's just a good way for me to get my, you know, my mindset out there. And yeah, so regardless, you know, if it's interactive or not, you know, right now I can still get my views across, and, you know, maybe whoever watches this video could like get an impact from it. So the topic for today, as you guys can see by the title is relationships and like, you know, friendships while you're in relationships and all that stuff, like the impact that your relationships can have with your friendships and vice versa, and just like a debatable subject. So like the main subject that I want to debate about is neglecting your friends when you get into a relationship. So that's gonna be today's topic, and yeah, I'm gonna be driving to my boyfriend's house while I talk about it. So how ironic. Okay, I got gas, so let's hit the road and get this conversation going. I should have got something to drink. I shouldn't be on my phone while I'm driving. Please don't do that, guys. This is a really bad influence. I'm sorry, but I need to read my notes. So the topic is, like I said, neglecting your friends when you get into a relationship. Okay, so my first question is, can it happen? Can you neglect your friends while you're in a relationship? And the answer is yes, duh. Now, did I personally ever do that? No. Despite the way any of my friends may have ever felt, I know for a fact I never did that, because I'm gonna get into it. But like I said, it could happen. Yes. Did I ever do it? No. Those are the two quick questions to the beginning. So now, before I dive into it, I'm gonna talk about the difference between love versus in love. There's a video kind of old, like when I first had this idea in my head, the video was new, but I think Clarence, you know, if you guys know Clarence NYC and his friend Mod the God, they did a video on this about, you know, they had this subject in it, like love versus in love. But there is a difference, guys. Let's talk about the difference between love and in love. I love my parents. I love my sisters. I love my grandma and my grandpa and my cousins. But I'm not in love with them, okay? I'm not in love with my parents and my sisters. I love my best friend. Shout out to you, Alex. I love you. You're my best friend. I love my line sisters. I love my profites. I love all my AKAs. But am I in love with any of these people? No. The only person I'm in love with and the only person I've ever been in love with is my boyfriend. My future husband. I'm in love with him. I love him and I'm in love with him. There's a difference, guys, between loving somebody and being in love with somebody. So, to dive into the next thing from that, being in love with somebody, you build a future in a family. Like, these families that you're a part of, that you love so much, started with the two people being in love. Or it could have just been a random hookup. But it started as being in love. You know? For the most part, a lot of these families started with being in love. How do you guys think the family started? Because two people in love had sex and had kids. And have a house and have a family. So, I'm 23 years old. If that's what if I'm in a loving, long-term, like almost 5-year relationship, in love with somebody, that's what's on my mind. I don't know about you guys, but I'm dating to marry. I know, there's a whole dating to learn lessons, and that's a whole deeper topic. But for the most part, I don't think anybody goes into a relationship thinking it's going to end, or you would never get into it in the first place. You may learn a lesson out of it if it does end, but I don't think you go into it thinking it's going to end. I'm in a 5-year relationship. I'm not thinking my relationship's gonna end when it gets better and better every day. Me and my man literally don't argue. Like, that's how great it is. And we don't see each other every day, so I'm sure we will argue more when we live together. But we don't argue. My relationship's getting stronger every day. So, with that being said, this is somebody I see that is going to be my husband, the man of my kids. Like, I'm putting time and effort into this relationship because I want to build a family. Family for the most part, it's forever. Like, I want to build a whole new generation. Like, kids who have kids who have kids. This is not a joke. This is me building a family, me building a life with somebody I want to marry and have kids with, and that'll be my family. That'll be the person I go home to every single day to see. So with that being said, a lot of people who are in relationships probably feel the same way I do. They're not playing around. They're not doing this for games. You are truly invested in somebody that you want to build with. So the reason why I'm emphasizing that is because sometimes friends may think you're neglecting them, when in reality, those friends are actually being selfish. Because, especially when they're not in relationships, I've always said this, it's so much easier having friends who are in, committed, loving relationships because they understand. They don't take nothing personal. They understand because they could relate. And some people who are not in relationships, could relate, but some of them choose not to. Or some of them never really been in a deep committed relationship, so they really don't know what it's like. And I can't be mad at that. But it's you can't be mad at your friend who is probably not even neglecting you, but that you're being selfish because you may have known your friend before they met the man or after, but now there's a new person in your friend's life who they want to build a family with, something serious, and you have to understand that you're not going to be your friend's primary person now. You're going to have to share that time with your friend's man, or if this is men watching, your friend's a girl. You're going to have to share time with your friend and their partner. It's not all about you. And your friend may have multiple friends, and your friends may have other obligations. So you have to realize that you're not gonna be that priority. You're not. If you're a really close friend, you're not gonna be that my everyday. Because I love you as my friend, but I'm not in love with you. I'm not having sex with you. So you have to understand that the person I'm in love with and I'm really intimate with, is gonna have more of my time because I'm building a life and a family with this person. This is serious, and that's why I also think people do neglect their friends. Yes, I agree that people do take that too far, where they really don't spend any time with their friends. You should make time for your friends. And that's why I said I never did that, because with any of my friends, old or new, ex or not ex, like still current, or just people I fell out with, they could all tell you I made time to see them, and I still make time to see them. My best friend now lives in South Jersey. She lives almost 2 hours away, and I see her at least once every 2 months. Like, I make time to see my friends. I go out with people, like, you know, I go out with my friends when there's plans. There hasn't been a birthday that I didn't show up to unless I couldn't. Like, I'm always there for birthdays, for anything. I'm there. Any plans, I'm there. So it's like, I know there's friends out there, and there's people out there who don't do that with their friends. They'll always find an excuse to cancel, and you'll find out that they're end up laying up with their man. That's, I think, is wrong. That's wrong. And that's why I say I agree that there are people who do neglect their friends. But there are also people who don't neglect their friends, but their friends perceive it as neglect because they're selfish. They're not realizing that their friend has other people to share their time with and their life with. Like, you can't be a selfish friend, and you can't be a hating friend, because sometimes it could be some subconscious low-key hating because, like, they don't have a relationship and they're mad, you know. So it could be like, don't be that friend. Don't be that friend that makes their friend feel guilty about not hanging out with them all the time when they literally have to prioritize their man also, because they're building a life with their man. And don't be that friend who neglects your friends. Don't be canceling plans to go lay up with your man all day. Like, make time for people. Make time. But also understand that a boyfriend usually is the highest priority on that list. Because especially if it's a serious relationship. I could get if you see your friend is with some guy that's on and off, they're not really serious, then you can kind of be mad at your friend, like, all right, sis, you wasting all your time with this man who you know you don't like, who's treating you bad, and neglecting your friends who are here for you. But if you see your friends in a loving, committed relationship that's not going nowhere, let your friend be with her man and don't be completely selfish, you know? So, and that also goes into like the whole, you know, everybody's different, but like the whole having to like talk to your friends every day. And I feel like when you're a grown adult, like, I don't need to talk to you every day. Like, we all got our lives going. And everybody's just different. Cause like my man, I talk to every day. Like I said, that's somebody who I will eventually, you know, live with and grow and have a family with. Like, somebody, when I put down my emergency contacts, his name's up there, you know, over a friend. And like, that's just because that's somebody who will be my husband. That will be the person I live with and see every day. Because I'm in love with them. Going back to my original thing, my friends, I love you. But I don't mean I gotta talk to you every single day. And for you to, like, you know, they think I'm neglecting you because I don't talk to you every single day. Like, we don't have shit to do and lives to live. But my man, although I have shit to do and lives to live, my man is a big part of my life and my future. So that's why, like, it's just like right now, it's a saying, it's a double-edged sword, is that the saying? But there's like two sides to everything, of course. And that's why, like, I'm on both sides. Like, I could feel like why some friends would feel that way about their friends who neglect them, like, because there's truly people out there who do neglect their friends. Like, I know that there's people out there. But then there are also people who don't neglect their friends, but their friends, you know, might have some insecurities or some envy or some paranoia, thinking that their friend is neglecting them. And in reality, they're not. They're not neglecting you. They're just allocating less time towards you because there's someone else in their life that has to also have time committed for them. You know? Sorry, anytime I see license plates that look like Greek letters, I'm always looking like, who that? But it's not. I thought it was a Delta, but it's not. Anyway, yeah, maybe your friend's not neglecting you. Maybe they're just spending less time with you because they have someone else in their life, and you can't be selfish. You can't be mad that they have another priority in their life over you. You know? And that's why, like, you know, like I was saying, like, it's easier sometimes to have friends that, like, are in relationships, in committed relationships, because, you know, sometimes a friend who's not really in a relationship or hasn't been in one in years might not necessarily relate to, like, the position that you're in life. Like, you're in love with somebody and, like, you're on the road to marriage and kids, and, like, you know, they're completely single and haven't been in a relationship in years. So it's like, it's hard to really relate to that. And not saying it's not as possible to have single friends, because I have single friends and I've had single friends. Like, it's not impossible, but sometimes those single friends end up doing some weird, like, low-key, like, have some weird feelings towards you because they think that you're neglecting them when you're really not. You're, like I said, you're allocating less time. So you gotta watch out. Sometimes people really just be like low-key feeling type of way. And yeah, so basically, you know, to wrap up, dating isn't for fun, in my opinion. You don't just date because it's fun. Woo! Dating because it's fun. Like, it's like an activity. Like, it's like Chuck E. Cheese. Dating, for the most part, I feel like people do it because they're trying to find, like, that person. Isn't that everybody's end goal? You know, for the most part, you're trying to find that person that you want to build a life with. And at the end of the day, in a few years from now, when I'm married in my home with kids, let me not say a few, because doesn't a few mean 3 or more? Or I think that's some. Let's say 5+ years, because I'm not having kids yet. But, you know, eventually I'll be married with my kids in my home with my husband that I will see daily. And my kids that I will see daily. There's a lot of people out there that don't see their friends daily because, like, I'm not in love with you for the millionth time. Like, why would I want to see you every single day? Like, we having sex. You're not my man. Like, that's, you know, how I feel about that. Even like your parents, like, when you go to school and you move out, you don't see your parents every day, and that's the freaking people who raised you and gave birth to you, and I don't even want to see them every day. You know, so what makes you think I want to see somebody who's not my man every day? You know, and that's just life. That's a different level of intimacy with people that you're in a relationship with. And yeah, so like I said, one day I'll be married, have kids in a home, but I will see my man every day. I might not necessarily see my friends every day, you know. And that's why I love, like, my best friend Alex. Me and her, like, have been so close since school, because, like, we always just, like, been, like, the same with a lot of stuff. And she's in a very long-term relationship, getting married next year. So she understands clearly about, like, allocating time, and she understands, like, me 100%. Like, she never felt like I was neglecting her. And we at one point were roommates, and I would go leave the room to go sleep in my man's room. She never felt a type of way about that, because she understands that if her man was there, she would be doing the same exact thing. So it's like, it's good to have, like, at least, like, anybody who's in a relationship, a long-term committed relationship on the road to marriage, please have a friend, a close friend who's also in that same, stage in life, because then you will feel a lot more, like, comfort sometimes, and not feel as weird around some of your single friends who may feel like a type of way. But I don't want to go so ham on friends right now, because, like I said, there are people who do neglect their friends, and if you're that friend, don't neglect your friends, like, because friends are an important part of life. Even though you don't see them every day, they are an important part of your life, and they are great to have, like, especially as a female, having, or a woman. I know people hate the word female. As a woman, having other women friends is, like, it's very important to have that connection with people. So don't neglect your friends, because you don't want to end up losing your friends, and especially if that the relationship you're in ends and now you don't have friends. So you don't want to lose your friends. So it is good to make sure you have a balance, and that you're not just, like, neglecting your friends completely. So yes. Whew, that was a good topic. I wish, like, I was more popular on YouTube, because this would be good to debate with people in the comments, and, like, hear people's different mindsets on this, and, like, what they think in any of their personal situations. But for anybody who may be watching this, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was a good debatable topic. It was something maybe you could talk about with other people and see where their head is at. And yeah, so I think I will do more of these, like, debate videos, especially when I'm driving. I have a lot of good subjects I like to talk about, so maybe I'll do, like, a little mini series. Like, this would just be something I just do randomly and just add it to, like, this series of videos. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Got some insight onto me and, like, my relationship and stuff. Like I said, I'm in a 5-year relationship, and, like, it's just so happened to be my first boyfriend. Literally, it's like, I feel like it's my soulmate, like, and the fact that, like, it's just crazy, like, oh my god. So I completely understand. Like I've had people accuse me of neglecting them when I know I didn't. And it's just like it sucks because like I don't neglect my friends. I'm always there. I'm always there for people. And my man, I'm not gonna like sacrifice my man and like quality time with him to hang out with my friends all the time. Like it has to be a balance, and that's what I've always done, and I still do that to this day. But yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys thought the topic was interesting. And speaking of my man, I'm on his way to his house right now. But thank you guys for watching, and please comment, like, subscribe, share. Yes, and see you guys in the next debatable topic.